We have a massive episode here. We are talking about the top 10 fantasy football sleepers. I've got 5 I really love. I got to have great value players. And we got Walter from Walter Football on the show. He's got 5 of his. What's going on, Walter?
Not much, Joe. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, can't wait to talk about these sleepers. Look, this is how you win your draft at the end. Like everyone knows the great players. Everyone's going to draft great players. Oh, most people are in the beginning rounds. But when you nail your draft at the end, round 10 onward, you get these players who can massively outperform their ADP. Talking like Brian Thomas Jr. last year, round 10. Bucky Irving, round 15 last year. I think Chuba Hubbard is going like round 12 or something. Rico Dowdle, round 13. These are guys I had all on my sleepers list. I know you were big on Thomas. You were big on Ladd McConkey. People were able to win their leagues using these guys last year, and we're going to give you guys that can win you your leagues this year.
Man, I'm super excited to dive into this. It's going to be exciting. And we're going to count. We're not even going to count. That's not a particular order, but we're going to have 10 players. We're just going to go 1 to 10. We got a couple honorable mentions at the end. So if you're into late round steals, even some mid-round guys that could be immense value, this is the episode to tune in to, okay? And we usually start off with the breaking news and notes we'll get to in a second. Before we even do that, you don't want to skip the intros. You want to secure the 16-round draft solution, okay? Rankings don't work. Last year, everyone told you, I remember this, Walter, Deebo Samuel round 2, Ayuk round 3, Cooper Kupp round 3, Olave round 2, Tyreek Hill round 1, CMC first overall, and on and on and on and on. Fading guys like Brock Bowers earlier last year, guys like Ladd McConkey, guys like Brian Thomas. You can spot out these gems, all of them, but have an optimal, robust roster to make sure that if you do take some risks, drafting some guys later, they have a balanced roster early. It's all balanced out. All the sleepers, all the breakouts, grab 16 rounds. I've linked it below, guys. Now is the time. We're full flow draft season. A lot of people jumping into the 16 rounds. I got a story to share here, story time here real quickly. I was doing a $350 buy-in league yesterday, Walter, and we're going to talk about it because one of the players is our first player we're going to talk to. We can roll to it in a second, but we just got to get to the news first. But the player that I had, which we'll get to in a second, was taken in round 5. And I know because I've done a higher stakes leagues where the buy-in was more. This guy was coming off round 8 as early as round 7. I was planning on getting him at the 6-11 because I was drafting early. I had the second pick this time for once. I was planning on getting him at 6-11. He came off at the 5-8 or something like that. Like, oh my God, like he was sniped like 3 rounds ahead of time. Walter, I'm losing it, dude.
I hear you, man. So this happens all the time to me when I draft with my friends who know my rankings. Like back in the day when we used to like meet, like I used to sit and I looked to my right, someone had my rankings printed out. I looked to my left, someone had my rankings printed out. I'm like, man, I'm not going to get anyone I like, am I? Like last year, I was drafting in this league I've been in since 2003. Brian Thomas Jr., number 1 on my sleepers list, and this guy knew it. And he knew I wanted him, and he's, like I said before, his ADP was round 10. I was like, okay, maybe I'm going to take him around 8 just to be sure. This guy took him around 4. So I just never had a chance to get him. He just drafted him too early, but it ended up working out for him, I guess. But still, we never get the guys we like, it feels like.
It's brutal, man. We're going to tell you who that player is because the first one on the board here, one of our sleepers or mid-round guys, okay? So make sure you guys do grab that 16-round draft because I believe people are taking my picks with 16 rounds. So you don't want to be left in the dark. You'll be light years ahead of the sheep. Grab 16 rounds, okay? Let's start with the latest news. We've got Mr. Breaking Bad. He's back to work. We've renegotiated a 1-year tender. He signed his 1-year tender. He's back on. We're going to sign him for a 1-year deal, man. 1-year contract.
I'm almost asked to what the financials are on that. I don't know if it's undisclosed or something, but I'm happy Breaking Brad got paid. He deserves it. He has one line, but it's an awesome one-liner.
We wanted to make it public. The news and media was here asking. We just said, no, you know what? We're not taking interviews right now. So Breaking Brad he's a very low-key guy because you know him. He's got a wild party life. He's trying to stay low-key, so he doesn't want all the ladies to know about his financials because he wants to be loved for who he is, right?
TMZ will have it sooner or later, I think.
Yeah, he doesn't want, like Bill Belichick, we know he's got a lot of money. Breaking Brad is flying under the radar. He wants to be loved for himself. And speaking of which, let's bring him on the show. There he is.
We now have breaking news.
It is with great urgency that we bring you these following messages.
His tone changes. We have breaking news, and then with his great, and he gets this like He ramps it up. I love it. I love that. That's the way to start. I do want to talk about, I'm not even pulling up the news. I'm not reading anything here, but I do want to pull up here real quickly or just talk about Ashton Genty. There was all this talk about Genty, Ashton minus 1 yard Genty was kind of the saying for a week. And man, oh man, did he prove people wrong in that game. He looked good. He looked explosive, lowering his shoulder. He took did you see the hard hit he took on the shoulder?
Yeah, he went to the blue tent, and I was like, "Why is he playing in the preseason?" And then I had like one Raider fan be like, "Whoa, he needs the reps." It was crazy. He went back in the game after that. Just kind of shows his toughness. But if I were the Raider coach, I would have been like, "Just get out of here. It's just get some rest." But he looked good.
That's what I love. That's the thing that really shined in me was that toughness, the toughness that he showed, not only on the run and the hit, but coming back in the game. And it shows the belief in him that they really want this guy to succeed. Dude, I love it. I love it. I'm back in. I actually went crazy here. I drafted him second. I had the choice of Byjan and Gibbs. I had the second overall pick, and I went ahead and drafted Ashton Genty second overall in a redraft with a $350 buy-in for a chance at $1 million. And that's what I did. Call me crazy. That's why I got the hat. But I'm all in. It's my ride or done kind of pick. So I'm all in. I just don't want to have too much variances with my teams. I don't have a lot of Gibbs and Bijan stuck, simply because in all my drafts, I ended up drafting after pick 7. So I never ended up getting them. So I'm just sticking to my narrative here with Genty. I love him. Promising.
I love the conviction. If you feel strongly about it, you got to go with it. Like the worst thing you could do is feel strongly about something and just don't act on it. That's you got to go with your gut.
I'm all in. All right, a couple other things I want to talk about. The Quentin Johnson, you saw the hit. Now he went deep, and this is what kind of bothered me because I'm a Trey Harris guy. They started Johnson and they had Lat and they had Keenan Allen. Like Keenan Allen thing was a real tick off, dude. I'm still pissed about that. I'm not happy about it at all. He shouldn't even be on a team. So I'm not worried because Trey Harris made that phenomenal catch at the sideline. I don't know if you saw that catch with Trey Harris at the sideline. Did you see that catch?
Yeah, I watched the whole game. Watch every game. I wrote recaps for every game on the site. So you can read all about that. I wrote fantasy notes for everything. But yeah, Keandre Lambert-Smith and Trey Harris both look really good.
Yeah, man, I'm super excited. So anyway, Quentin Johnson got hit, and here's the update on him. I think he was under concussion. It says he sustained a concussion on the big hit during the third play of the preseason game versus the Rams on Saturday, August 16th. We know that. According to Jim Harbaugh, Johnson remembered the play and was able to stand under his own power before walking over to the cart that removed him from the field. He was taken to a local hospital for further evaluation. So he's going to be on concussion protocol. But of course, Quentin Johnson doesn't catch the ball. Now, in his defense, I think the corner actually got his hand in there, so it kind of deflected the ball, made it a little harder to catch, but still didn't catch the ball. It still hit his hands and it bounced off. Typical Quentin Johnson fashion, I would say.
He wasn't going to catch it anyway. It could have been wide open. He wasn't going to catch it. No. Trey Harris and Lambert-Smith, like I said, they were both awesome yesterday. Lambert-Smith actually looked like Johnson's replacement, so I assumed that like Keenan Allen would play over Trey Harris. I guess that's how they set it up. But given that these two guys have shown so much promise, I think it just makes your prediction about Ladd McConkey busting just way more accurate because McConkey caught one pass yesterday, whereas the other guys saw way more targets. So
yeah, McConkey's going to see a significant reduction. My skin was itching for the past couple days. I've been itching to get this news out, and it came out a couple days ago or a day or so ago, and you guys are going to get this Monday morning. It's a couple outdated, but you're not going to like this news, and Connor is not going to like this news. Are you ready for the news? You know what this is about. I'm sure you have an inkling of what this is about, Walter.
I'm more than an inkling. Let's get it over with.
Well, let me clear my throat for this one. Okay, so here we go. We should get Breaking Brad in on this a little bit. Here we go.
We now have breaking news.
Miami Dolphins running back Devin Achane, undisclosed, will be sidelined for the time because of soft tissue lower body injury. But there's a but. Head coach Mike McDaniel indicated that he is not concerned about Achane's availability for week 1. I'm concerned. A guy who's predicting a bust, a guy who's shown us injuries in year 1, a guy who's showing us injuries, and he's a top 5 running back according to the Concheapsis rankings. Walter, what do you got to say for yourself? You should be shame if he busts.
That's true. Yeah. Well, I have a number 6, so at least I'm not in the fully conchitas. So I actually shared a graphic with you, which it kind of like now I'm like crying on the inside because I had so much Jalen Wright in best ball because I figured I'm like, look, HN, one thing's gonna one or two things gonna happen. One, HN is not gonna get injured and he could be potential RB1 because he has so much explosiveness. Or like you said, he's gonna get injured, he's gonna miss a lot of time, and then Jalen Wright will come in and have big games. Well, Jalen Wright has been outplayed by Ollie Gordon in the preseason. So, like,
Yeah.
Ollie Gordon looks like the guy to own. He looks really good. He was
He does.
trampling over defenders. He was awesome. I don't know if he has the pass catching ability that McDaniel likes, but he's at least looks like the goal line back because like the other two guys are smaller, so they haven't done well at the goal line. So at least he's going to have that role. And I think that I still have like about 100 plus best ball drafts to do. We're going to try to target Ollie Gordon in like round 17 or something right now.
I just had to share that at-chain news with you. And all he does look good. I'm hearing nothing but rave reviews out of camp. And that guy could be a workhorse back, which will dip into odd-chain. And he's got to come back or else he's going to lose that job to Ollie Gord, who's an absolute steal in drafts. But I had to get that news out. And people were DMing me when I posted it in my story mode. I typed it up on my Instagram. If you're not following Insta, go there, turn on the bell right now. And people DM me. They're like, Walter's not going to like this. He's not going to be happy. They care about your feelings, Walter. They care.
I'm glad to hear people care about my feelings. I at least I haven't drafted him that much because I have Bucky Irving over him and I have Chase Brown over him. So like if the three are available, I'm taking those two guys. So like I'm not that hurt, but I really appreciate the audience looking out for me. It just means a lot.
All right, so one more thing I want to talk about since we're on that tangent there. We're talking running backs. TreVeyon Henderson rushed for 20 yards and 1 touchdown on 4 carries during the preseason game. TreVeyon Henderson looked good. We saw a run by RJ Harvey, and man, did that Broncos offense look absolutely explosive. It was a pass to Ingram, deep pass. Then I think it went, who was it, Bryant after that? Pat Bryant, the rookie that I like, I think it was. And then it was Harvey punching it. And then there was another one drive with Franklin getting it. They look good. And Bo Nix is a guy I'm really high on. But I just wanted to say, man, these running backs, these rookies, they're going to shock the fantasy world. I'm telling you, man. And I've got a lot of stock top heavy on the Hamptons, the Hendersons, the Harveys, the Genties. Dude, I'm all in because the positioning of these guys is absolutely phenomenal. I'm excited, dude. I'm excited, especially Henderson.
Yeah, I love these guys. I miss the days where I can get TreVeyon Henderson in the 5th round. Those are long gone. I keep saying I do like best ball drafts all the time. Like I do like 3 or 4 a day. Like Henderson now is going 403 at the latest. Like I don't see him going later than that. He's like I posted something on Twitter yesterday where he went 302. So I had the first pick. I took Kyron Williams at 301, and then he just went right after me at 302. I'm like, wow, this is getting early. And I saw a tweet today from someone, I don't know who it was, but they said TreVeyon Henderson went 101 in their own league. It's like, okay, I love Henderson. That's a little bit of a stretch, but yeah, I think that he's ultimately going to go like late 3rd round, mid to late 3rd round, after Kyron Williams and Hampton, and then it's going to be Henderson.
Oh, it's going to be a wild year, man. And yeah, that's why I like to draft earlier because, Wild West with these picks is just people coming up and drafting players that we could get earlier back in May a lot higher. So, man, like Tyler Warren was coming off like round 8 to 9, dude. Now he's like round 5. Like it's crazy.
Some of the sleepers would talk about like I was getting way later, and I'll mention them when they come up in the conversation. But like that's people always ask me like, why do you draft so much early? Like I was drafting back in April and May, and I'm like, well, because we can get I know these rookies, like I can get ahead of the data, and now they're just going so early that it's hard to get them.
Definitely. All right, so a couple more things run real quick. I want to run this is Justin Jefferson, hamstring, will hopefully be able to do more things this upcoming week, but his practice participation is uncertain at this time. Another concern, a guy 1st round. This is why I'm saying wait on wide receiver. You're investing a top 5 pick in a guy who's sidelined, not even practicing. That's a concern, man, with those lingering hamstrings. Are you concerned about Jefferson?
Yeah, not only Jefferson, to AJ Brown too. It sounds like AJ Brown suffered a setback late last week, and I drafted more AJ Brown because he was going like mid 2nd round, which I thought was way too late. He was going late 1st round. Like I thought he should be like late 1st round, but now he's his hamstring, and if he's out for a while, it looks like it makes Devontae Smith look so much better in the 5th round. So I completely agree with you. I think that like first 3 rounds to try to get like at least 2 running backs. And then just because I like the receivers a lot in rounds 5 through 8, the running backs in rounds 5 through 8 aren't that good. So just try to get the running backs early.
All right, I'm sure something's gonna break between now and the morning because it always happens. So I'll try to. Sometimes I do like a little vlog and I'll slide it into our video if anything catastrophic or big happens between now and then. But until then, that is it for today. Breaking Brad.
It is with great urgency that we bring you these following messages.
It's always with great urgency that we get to these sleepers now. Okay, right now.
If I were paid like Breaking Brad, I'd have great urgency too. So
I think there's great urgency for me to use the bathroom by the time he gets, to get through all his speeches. Anyways, all right, let's go through the sleepers here. Top 10 again. Some of yours I won't agree with, so we're gonna battle. But my first one is Emeka Egbuka. Now, first of all, his name pronunciation, because they're calling him Emeka Egbuka. They're kind of just ignoring the G. I have a problem with that, okay? I don't know in the English language. Now you say it's from another country or whatever. I don't know what ethnicity he is. They say they don't pronounce. But in English, which I speak, I don't know. There's always, this G is not silent. I see Emeka Egbuka. I don't see Emeka Egbuka. And the G is like saying egg, right? You can't say E. Like you can't just forget the G, right? So I'm calling him Emeka Egbuka. That's how I'm reading it. That's all.
yeah, I just Googled it. He's Nigerian apparently, but I don't understand why you don't pronounce the G. It's like I must want to. I almost wonder if like some of these players, like Bijan changed his name to Bijan, like it was Bijan, then that's Bijan. Like I feel like if I were a player, I'd almost like want to troll everyone and change my pronunciation every year, just like keep my name out there. It's like, oh, this guy changed his name. But I guess that's why Chad Johnson always changes his name to Ocho Cinco and whatever. I guess that worked because he was always in the news.
Listen, I like the name. I have no problem with the name. I just have a problem with the G being silent. Pronounce your name in pride. Be happy about it. Be proud of your name. Egbuka. Say it loud. Say it proud. Pronounce the G. There you go. So that's how I feel about it. And forget the name. Let's focus on the talent. Amazing touchdown in preseason week 2. Emeka Egbuka. He's the one. I'm forgetting about Evans. I don't care if Godwin comes back. I'm all in on this guy. In fact, this is the guy that got taken from me in the draft when I drafted yesterday. Dude, I am pissed, Walter. I am pissed because I had this thing laid out. I saw him come off round 8 like a week and a half ago. And I moved him up. I knew he was coming off round 7. And now as early as round 6 or 5, he came off round 5. I was ready to draft him in 6 because I went, listen to this, on the 4 or 5 turn, I went RJ Harvey. I came back, I went Warren because here's the deal. I was drafting earlier. There's no way Warren was going to come back. I have to have Tyler Warren. I know how much volume he's set to have. So I just wanted to get Harvey. I just couldn't pass up on Harvey. I got to get Harvey. I could have just gone Emeka and Warren because I had 3 other running backs on top. But I went, no, I want 4 running back. I'm greedy. I'm doing it. And then Emeka comes. I was planning on a Pearsall Emeka pick, at least on that 6-7 turn, dude. Guaranteed. So not only did he take Emeka, he comes back around and takes Pearsall. So Pearsall doesn't come back to me. Dude, I'm losing it.
Yeah, man, this does not sound like a good guy, man.
He's not a good guy.
When you texted me this, I could feel the anger coming from your text on the phone. Man, that I hear you. That happens all the time. So I said before, I was going to mention what happened before. Like June, July, I was getting round 7 Pearsall, round 8 Egbuka all the time, like
clockwork.
That's you can't do that anymore. They don't even go around 6. So I had the first pick in the draft I did last night. I took Chase because I don't get Chase that much. I was like, okay, let's build a Chase team. And then I took Kyron Williams, and then I took Bucky Irving at the 2, 12, 301. So I've got 2 strong running backs and a receiver. And then I thought, okay, so 4, 12, 501. I was like, okay. I was like, if I don't take Pearsall or Egbuka here, I'm not going to get him to 6, 12, 701. So I took Pearsall with one of those picks. And yeah, I mean, Egbuka went 5, 10, I think, in that draft. Like they're going late 5th round, both of them. And so now you have to adjust. You have to take them earlier, unless you're drafting with like complete idiots who aren't paying attention and they don't know who they are. Like you have to take them. Pearsall looked great, by the way, yesterday.
He did. He looked great. Great.
4 targets on the opening drive, 3 catches. He could have had a touchdown. There was a miscommunication, but like he's going to be the number one in that offense. Kittle's being phased out. He's 32. We know it's going to have McCaffrey. Like,
Yeah.
he's gonna be injured. So Pearsall is going to have a massive season. So try to get one of Ibuka or Pearsall. And depending on the strength of your league mates, you might have to draft them round 5.
And why Mika? Polished route runner, great hands, great situation, great talent, great quarterback. Not great quarterback, but great situation with a good quarterback that's going to feed him a lot and throw a lot. So, dude, I'm all in. I'm all in on Emeka. Let's go to the second guy here. And again, it's no particular order, and we're not doing it in a sense that your guy, my guy. I think I just kind of mixed it up here. Tyler Warren, I got to have him. Now, you're saying, well, Joe, we're talking sleepers. He's not really a sleeper anymore. He still is, because he's, he was round 7 to 8. He's rising up now. Still a great value because I see so many other tight ends coming off ahead of him. Example, Brock Bowers, who I think is going to absolutely bust this year. That's a whole other topic, but definitely not worth his second ADP. He'll bust a little bit. I think the talent is still great, but I mean, this guy, you got to get him around 5-6 turn or he's just not coming back. Great talent, looking great in preseason, going to be a volume getter. I'm just not sold on the entire offense. I think Downs was dealing with an injury. So dude, all signs are pointing to this guy just eating, regardless of who's throwing. They're gonna get the ball to him. He's a big target, and he's just gonna be a safety outlet for, Jones or Richardson.
Yeah, either one. He was a big target for both of them. Since Richardson started week 1 in the preseason, Daniel Jones started week 2 of the preseason. Both of them targeted him more than anyone else. You look at the other receivers. You mentioned Downs. He's hurt. Downs is probably the best receiver, but he's injured right now. Michael Pittman's he's just an above average player. Richardson loves the other receiver that they have, blanking on his name right now. The white guy who runs real fast downfield. Kind of blanking on his name. So anyway, he loves him more.
Alec Pierce.
Alec Pierce. Yeah, Alec Pierce. So, like, in best ball, I like Alec Pierce a lot. But in regular fantasy, it's hard to justify him because he's so streaky. But yeah, Warren is the consistent threat in that offense, and I think that he's going to be the next one. In 2 years ago with Sam Laporta, last year with Brock Bowers. Like, this year, it's going to be Tyler Warren. Like, there's no one else really to catch passes who's great. So he's definitely the threat. And also, as a bonus, I keep saying this, like, he ran the tush push at Penn State. Like, there's a chance that he's going to get 2 or 3 rushing touchdowns this year.
Easily. I definitely see that for sure. I love him. He's my must-have. He's my staple to my rosters. If he doesn't do well, I got some good backup contingencies, but I think he's going to be solid. Your next guy here is Zach Charbonnet. And here's the deal, man. He looked good in preseason. He running up the middle, looking like really zippy. And I'm not really a Kenneth Walker guy. Is that kind of why you're into him? Round 9 ADP, not bad for a guy that you can just stack on to your early round running backs. There's something, I don't have a lot of stock in him. I believe in the talent. And watching that preseason game, Walter, it just shows, man, so much talent is buried behind other guys, where when he was drafted, I thought he could have been a starter anywhere, right? 3-down workhorse capable, and he was buried on the depth chart, similar to the way Kyron Williams was when he was drafted in the 5th round behind Akers, got the opportunity and shined. If Walker wasn't there and they fed this guy, he would be phenomenal. So why do you love him so much?
I have so many reasons why I love Charbonnet. There are 3 guys I'm trying to get in every draft. Charbonnet is one of them, like round 9. Sometimes he leaks in round 8 and redraft, but best ball is round 9. So with Kenneth Walker, I have to address that first. He's the elephant in the room. Walker is always injury prone. Like, he gets hurt all the time. We talked about before how he's like not really tough. He gets like nicked up a little bit. He's out for like 2 weeks. So Charbonnet is already going to get some starts. It's just a matter of when. Also, Walker's in his contract year, so he could be traded. Like, if Seattle's not good, they could just be like, oh, why not trade Walker because we have Charbonnet? Like, it makes so much sense. Like, why would they pay Walker? So those are the 2 reasons why you should be fine with Charbonnet with Walker. But then you have the talent. He's very talented. I think he's a better player than Walker. Seattle's going to be able to run the ball really well. Like, they drafted they drafted a guard in the 1st round, Gray Zabel. He was mauling people in that preseason game. And underrated player Robbie Oots, their fullback. He's not going to be, you're not going to draft him in fantasy or anything, but he is such a great run blocker. He was like plowing over people. So Seattle's going to be able to run the ball a lot. And They even fired their offensive coordinator last year because he didn't run the ball enough. So it's like an emphasis for them. They want to run the ball a lot. And look, even if Walker stays on the team, they're running a lot of two running back personnel in practice. Like this is what Tampa did last year with Bucky Irvin and Rashad White. They're on the field a lot together. So you're going to see a lot of formations this year where Walker and Charbonnet are in the field together, and they're just going to create chaos. I think Charbonnet is going to get a big workload even if Walker stays on the field. So all this stuff together just makes just makes Charbonnet look like a league winner. Like if Walker goes down, Charbonnet is going to have like a massive season. So I want him in like round 9 every time.
The reason I don't trust Walker, I drafted him in my rookie year. He had a mini breakout in his rookie year. I had him, and then he had this, like, he ran to the sideline, pulled up. I guess he had a non-contact in general, whether it was ankle or hamstring in his rookie year. And I went and ripped on him on social media, and I said, "What are you doing, man? Get back on the field, dude." Blocked me immediately. So I could tell he's sensitive. Like, he's extremely sensitive if he can't handle that type of feedback. I didn't curse at him. I just said, dude, like, get back on the field. Like, grab your nuts and go back in. So it's like he got offended. Like, and he just blocked me. So he blocked me since his rookie year. I have no faith in that guy. Don't like the guy. Don't care for him. So I hope I'm rooting. Go Charbonnet. That's it.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't get people who block I've never blocked anyone in my life. I just don't see the point. I feel like you lose your like man card if you block someone like that.
Yeah, I mean, I've blocked some people that have been really like to the point where they're just completely like rude, like to the point, you know what I mean? Like cursing to a point where they're insulting my family. Those guys, that's unnecessary. Some people get really ruthless and usually it's the guys that have like no profile picture, those weird like troll accounts that just come in and say ruthless things. But yeah, we got to filter through some of those guys. But yeah, if it's just criticism, like, hey man, I don't like the pick, dude, whatever. I don't care. That's everyone's entitled to their opinion. All right. Next one here is this is another pronunciation one. This is like a deep sleeper, and he did pretty good in preseason. Like, he looks like he's going to be on the field a lot. I heard he's doing well in training camp. Alec, they're pronouncing it like Alec Manor, but I call him Elik Ayamanor. I think it sounds way better. Manor. I guess that doesn't sound good. Manor. I guess that's why they call him Manor, but I call him Elik Ayamanor, because it's whatever, or like OR. And he's a late pick. And Cam Ward, the reason, like, he's going to be a wide receiver too, I think, right out of the gate. And you're getting him for free with your last pick, compared to a T. Higgins who's coming off like round 2 to 3, who's a wide receiver 2, and you have to pay a second round pick. But I'm getting Cam Ward's essential wide receiver 2 for absolutely free. And he's a good player. Like, if you look at his scouting profile, the guy's a pretty talented. He's got good hands, good route runner. Like, I read some notes on this guy. He's no slouch. He's a good receiver. So, I mean, if Calvin Ridley goes down, he's shown his share of injuries. Why not? Why not just stash Elik Ayamanor? I like him.
He needs to get like a manure company like to sponsor him. I would really play into that if I were him.
Oh man,
he needs. Look, we had him as like a round 2-3 prospect in the draft, so I like the talent for sure. I actually thought like he was going to go back to school, but he came out and he won the draft. And he went 4th round, so a little bit later than we thought. But the talent is definitely there. The only thing I worry about if Calvin Ridley doesn't get hurt is because like when you have a rookie quarterback, they tend to lock in on one receiver and their tight end. So that's why I love Calvin Ridley this year. But you're right, if like Ridley goes down, Manure, as whatever we want to call him, he could have a big year because he has the talent for sure.
Quick notes on him before we move on from Elik Ayamanor or Manor. Okay. X receiver style, 4.4 speed, 6'2", 206 give or take. Couple quick notes: polished route runner, legitimate vertical threat with impressive speed, natural tracking, ball ability, high-end technician working in the middle of the field, using a 6'2" frame and his 210-pound build out to box out defenders, exceptional body control, strong after the catch, physical and willing blocker, excels and finds soft spots against zone coverage, natural hands. So tons of great notes about him. Just saying his inconsistent hands show up on routine catches. So they're saying he has good hands, and then they're saying he's inconsistent. So I don't trust some of these notes. I think he's in a good situation. I think people are just sleeping on Cam Ward. Elik Ayamanor, if he's there, you need an extra player. You're low on receivers. There could be something there. Why not? All right. Your guy here, who I'm not really crazy on, I definitely see some value, is Isaac Orendo, round 12 to 13. CMC had his down year last year. What did Orendo do? Did he really step up and become the next CMC? Not really, right? Like, what's the story here?
Well, they had Jordan Mason last year, so they ran Jordan Mason. They don't really want to go with a rookie running back, but they did draft Garendo in the 4th round, so they do like him quite a bit. Now that he has experience, they're going to rely on him more. And really, like there's no one else to carry the ball there. They have a rookie in Jordan James, but again, he's a rookie, so they're not going to trust him. And we know what Kyle Shanahan does. He says it all the time. He likes using one running back. So if you think, here's the decision you have. If you're drafting and Christian McCaffrey is on the clock, you could do one of two things. You can pass on him because you think he's going to get hurt, or you can draft him because you love his upside. I would pass on him. I'm like you, Joe. I don't like Christian McCaffrey. He has chronic tendonitis in his Achilles, both of them, not one, but both of them. So like the odds of him staying healthy all year are very low. Like I think it's like how many games are going to miss? Like not if he's going to stay healthy. So I can see him missing 6, 8, 10 games. If that happens, you're going to get Garendo for the 6, 8, 10 games, and he's going to be able to post huge numbers. The Niners, they run the ball really well with Kyle Shanahan. So think about all the running backs that Shanahan has gone through, not just Kyle, but his dad too, Mike Shanahan. Like they turn these unknown running backs into stars, and I think Garendo is the next one. We saw Jordan Mason last year. Like no one knew who he was last year. He got his chance, and McCaffrey got hurt, and then he signed a big contract in Minnesota. Now he's like 1A, 1B with Aaron Jones. Same thing is going to happen with Garendo. He's really big. He's really fast. Great prospect. And I think that he's going to go nuts this year because I'm confident McCaffrey's going to get hurt. So, like I said, if you think McCaffrey's going to get hurt, like you almost have to take Garendo like round 12, 13, 14. He's going a little bit later now because he has a shoulder injury. I think he's going to be fine for week 1, sounds like. So he's the second guy I try to get in every draft. I used to take him around 12 every time. Now with the shoulder, I can take him around 14 every time.
Yeah, I mean, definitely worth a stash for sure, especially in best ball. I don't believe in CMC now. That's what bothers me with certain players is that like he was at the sideline. Why isn't CMC in playing preseason, getting a couple snaps? And who does he think he is? Like, I'm going to sit by the sideline in my tracksuit over here, and I'm not get some reps. That's why I love Genty. I like the young, hungry guy. Get him in there. Takes a hit. He's in the tent. He comes back out and plays. Like, that is what I want to see. Not this, like, CMC wasn't even on the field last year. She should be in getting reps. What are you doing? What are you doing, princess, by the sideline? Like, that is not, I don't want that with my first round pick. I want youth. I want hunger. I want generational talent. I don't want a guy who's been injured 3 out of the last 5 years who isn't even taking preseason. Like, get out there, get 2 snaps. Like, I'm going to snap here. Does that make sense? Why is he at the sideline? Like, why aren't you playing a couple snaps, McCaffrey?
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor even ran once last night. He had like a 9-yard run. I'm the opposite. I think the preseason should be canceled. I don't think they should have a preseason. Like no game. If I were a coach, I'd be like, you're not even coming to the game. Just stay home. I can't. I think there was one coach from Miami about 10 years ago. The head coach did not show up to the last preseason game. Like, just like that's how worthless it is.
Yeah, but that's like kind of entering the highway without having an on ramp. You just kind of like 0 to 100. I think you have to ramp up. I'm not saying play the whole game. And you saw that major injury to McMillan, man. He came down and like his head. Did you see that? McMillan, the receiver for the Bucs, caught the ball, came back and basically folded, like landed on his neck. I hope he's okay. I haven't even got the update there. I have to check on that. But yeah, man, just so it can be brutal. You just got to be a little careful, but I think you still need some reps. That's my opinion on that.
My take on that is like we've seen a bunch of teams start 0-2 and win the Super Bowl. You know, like the Patriots in 01. Obviously, they had Brady coming on, but still, that wasn't the Brady we know. They started 0-2 and they won the Super Bowl. The Cowboys one year with Emmitt Smith held out. They started 0-2. They won the Super Bowl. The Bengals, they started 0-2 a few years ago. They got to the Super Bowl. You know, like this. It doesn't matter how you do in September. It matters how you get in November, December, January. That's what matters to me.
All right, let's go to number 6 here, a guy that I've got on every roster. I might even start him week 1. Is Dante Thornton. If you watched preseason week 2, he got 2 deep shots from Geno Smith. One, I think, was overthrown, and I don't know what happened to the other one. But, dude, it's like I would just draft him. He's going to be first team. So the way the first team looks like, you got Genty, you got, I think, was it Trey Tucker in the slot, and then, or was it Myers in the slot? But it was Tucker, Myers, and Thornton. Did you see that as well? I think that was how they were running it.
Yeah, that's how they're doing it, yeah.
So, and it was like immediately to Thornton, like he's looking Thornton's way, and they got Bowers too. So that's why I think Bowers is just going to take a decline. There's going to be more Genty, there's going to be more Thornton, there's going to be more, even Tucker's been doing well. So I don't know, man. I'm not sold on Bowers. I think Thornton is going to step up. And I noticed I put round 12 here. I know it's extremely early, but at the end of the day, man, you're getting a potential wide receiver one. And I think my 12 is modest. I think you're being reasonable. Like if you want a guy that's going to have a high ceiling, if you wait too long, people are aware of him. And I actually been monitoring this. When I was doing drafts back in May, June, even July, you would see Jack Besh come off like before Thornton. Like he was even on the ADP. Now, Besh is not even being drafted because he's not playing with first team, and Thornton is up higher there. So I like Thornton. I got him on my rosters. It's kind of like my chips are down, and I'm all in, and we're gonna see how it falls. He was on the show as well, and he's super confident. I like the guy.
Yeah, great interview. I listened to that a few months ago. He's the third guy I try to get in every draft. So it's for me right now. It was different back then because I said like I used to be Pearsall and then Ikbuka. Now it is Charbonnet round 9, Thornton round 13 for me in best ball, and then Correndo in round 14. I love Dante Thornton. I think he's going to be great. And by the way, I was so happy that he didn't catch those passes because if he caught those passes, his ADP would have skyrocketed. You know that, like it would have been, everyone would have posted on Twitter. You got to get Dante Thornton. He would have been all over the place. Now I can still get him around 13, luckily. So I'm pretty happy about that. But he's the number one receiver for the Raiders, not Jacoby Myers. And we heard this from Charlie Campbell, the best NFL draft analyst, most accurate mock drafter in the world. I asked him about him because Thornton was running with the first team, and Charlie just covered him. And Charlie has great sources with the Raiders, not just like scouts or anything, like higher ups, like these people. I was like, Charlie, can you check on it? And so the next day he comes back to me and says, I heard separately from these two people that they think Thornton is going to be a massive star like this year. And so I've been drafting him every time. And this is another guy I was getting way later. Like back in May, June, I was getting him round 18 every time. It was like clockwork, round 18. But now, and then it crept to like round 16, then 14. Then people started taking him there. I'm like, I got to go to round 13. So I'm taking round 13 now.
And the cool thing is he's got a personal motivator. I actually DM him. I DM'd him about 2 weeks ago. I said, you better get it, man. I'm excited for you, man. I have the DM. I'm not going to show it because it's our private conversation. But he basically said he appreciates me. So he's got a motivator in me right there. That's good news. Yeah, that's it.
He's locked in. I love him. He's my number one sleeper on my site.
And people will say, well, Joe, as soon as if he has a bad game, you're going to turn on him. Maybe. I'm thinking about it. Probably not. Let's hope not. Okay. Next guy here, I've got no stock in. Jackery Krosky Merritt. Late stash. I got almost as late stash. And we were talking about this before the show. I'm like, I have no stock in this guy. I don't care about Washington. But you think that and after discussion, I think there might be a path for this guy based on what you're telling me.
Yeah, I saw a report from a guy who works at The Athletic, and I had to ask around because like there's some shady people who work at The Athletic. Like from all accounts, this guy has been accurate. So he predicted, and he covers Washington. He said that Brian Robinson Jr. will not be on the 53-man roster in Week 1, and that was really surprising. It was kind of like a bold take, but like this guy has been an accurate reporter, so I'm going to trust him. And you think about it, it's like why would they get rid of Brian Robinson Jr.? Well, first of all, last year he got benched a bunch of times. Like Jeremy McNichols was seeing action ahead of him late in the season, but
right.
He was banged up. So I was like, okay, maybe Brian Robinson Jr. could be a good value this year because he was hurt. He got injured 3 times last year, so I assumed that he was going to get better. But now I'm hearing this, and I also hear that Corey Krosky Merritt is looking fantastic in training camp. So if you consider both things, you're like, okay, it kind of makes sense. Like this guy Robinson always gets hurt. They love Krosky Merritt. Maybe they think they could trade Robinson. So if it's true, if this report is true, Eckler is not going to be the bell cow there.
No.
He's too old. He's gonna play third downs and stuff. But Krosky Merritt is almost a must draft if this report is true. So I'm taking Krosky Merritt like round 15. He's like my last pick in redraft, or like in best ball, he's round 15 or 16. So the upside's there. I mean, if he's starting running back on Washington, they're going to have an explosive offense. I think that they have a good chance to win the Super Bowl this year. So if I'm right, and they remember they brought in Laramie Tunsil to really improve that offensive line. Krosky Merritt could have a big year out of nowhere.
Yeah, the path to RB1. I think I was reading something to try to debunk your whole theory, like Cliff Kingsbury shuts down Brian Robinson Jr. talk, and you're like saying, well, you got to talk up a guy you want to get rid of, right?
Yeah, if you're trying to trade a guy, you're like, you don't say, he stinks. No one wants him. You got like, oh, this guy's awesome. Like, we don't want to trade him. Like, we're keeping him. So that's how you get your leverage. I think that's what he's doing.
Well, yeah, like Breaking Brad, he's really, really good at what he does. Yeah, take him. You know, like Breaking Brad's a free agent, by the way. I think after his 1 year contract is done, so we're debating on whether we want to trade him. Breaking Brad, how do you feel about that? We were considered trading you.
It is with great urgency that we bring you these following messages.
There you go. That's all he has to say about that. So yeah,
He
no.
needs an agent.
He needs an agent. Yes. No Jackery for me. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to see how that unfolds for you. Hopefully, it works out for you though. Next guy here, I like him. He looked good at preseason. We already kind of talked about it. We won't spend too much time. You're looking at round 5 to 6 ADP. It's that simple. I mean, Ricky Pearsall, great talent. And, the opportunity is there with injuries. And, we talked about regression possibly for Kittle this year, CMC. Pearsall, dude.
He was sick in that preseason game. One drive, he got 3 passes for like 43 yards, and there was a miscommunication for a touchdown. So you could have like 4 catches, 50 something yards, and a touchdown on one drive. Like, this guy's going to be a PPR monster this year. He's going to get a ton of targets. He's going to have a big year. Like, Kittle's 32, McCaffrey's always hurt. Juwan Jennings has this calf injury that doesn't go away. Ayuk is not going to play till November. This is the guy to own. And he was going around 7 every time. Now he's going around 5 or 6. You have to make adjustments. I'm going to take him around 5 now.
Dude, like I'm really pissed off that I missed out on him and Emeka. I thought I would have got them. I did not get them. So I ask you this, and I want people to comment. Some people are like, "Oh my God, you have too many leagues now." So I said to myself this year, I made a promise: 1 league, 1 main event. Focus on that. It's like that old saying, like, have 1 egg and have all your eggs in 1 basket and protect that basket. Not anymore. I'm like chasing 10 rabbits. I'm probably going to catch none. No, but I'm just take the emotion out of it. Right now I've got 8 leagues, 1 dynasty, 7 money leagues, dude. Like, and now because I lost Pearsall and Emeka, I want to go back and do another one today. Like, and it's like, they're not cheap, man. They're like $350 buy-ins. I mean, I'm in here and I'm telling my wife I'm doing this. And she's like, we got some problems here now. Like I got to call a hotline for some help. Let's get out of hand.
Look, it's a tax deduction for you if you know that, because you can talk about it. Every single best ball draft that is a tax deduction. So I feel like I'm partly responsible for you being in so many leagues. I come on the show like, I am in 170 best ball drafts so far.
8 doesn't sound bad.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, these are $20 each, so like it adds up too. So like $20 if you max enter 150, that's $3,000. So
but these are like managed. I got 8 managed leagues, which is a lot. But as long as I just sit there and okay, who do I need? I'm good. Like, I'll be fine. I might do another one. I want Pearsall and I want Emeka, but I got to lose Warren. Like, it's like kind of a trade up unless I take Warren in like the 4th. And now we're like, I don't know, man. It sucks. Like, everyone's kind of aware of these players now a little bit more, and it sucks. But it is what it is.
That's why it's so much better to draft earlier.
I know. All right. Let's go. Braylon Allen, number 9. This is your guy. I like him. They already said they're going to run a committee. I heard this like months and months ago. They're saying they're going to run a committee. It sucks, but then Breece Hall's in a contract year. You got to be careful here, though. I've got no Braylon Allen stock, but I definitely see the talent.
Yeah, actions speak louder than words. So you have to actually see them run the committee. And in the preseason, it was Allen and Hall like together. Like Allen was getting the 3rd down snaps and he was getting short down. Like on Hall, like he has this injury history. He didn't look explosive last year, and I'm hearing rumblings that he might be traded at the trade deadline this year. Like I said, contract year, and they love Braylon Allen. The coaching staff is in love with him. He's one of the youngest players in the NFL. So you might be like, okay, he didn't do all that much last year because he was like, I think the youngest player in the NFL, if I'm not mistaken, or at least one of the top 3. Now he has more experience. The new coaching staff loves him. They're going to give him half the work, or about, I think it might be like 55-45 Hall to Allen. And then if Hall gets traded or injured, you're going to have this monster who's going to get all the workload. The Jets offensive line is really good too. They drafted 2 first-round picks in the past 2 years. They also have Elijah Vera Tucker, and their center Joe Tippmann's really good. So this line looks sick, and I think whoever runs behind it is going to really produce. And you just can't trust Hall because you have to take him like 4th round or so, and or maybe even earlier. And he's lost his explosiveness, and he's losing his goal line touches and his 3rd down work. Whereas you have Braylon Allen, who's getting all that positive stuff, and he has upside for when Hall gets injured or traded. So I'm all in on Braylon Allen. Like, he's not quite must draft like the other three guys I mentioned, but he's like second tier. If round 12, if he's on the board, I take him every time.
Another guy buried on the depth chart that if he had got the starting opportunity, be crushing it somewhere, never got it, was buried behind Breece Hall. That was annoying when I saw him be drafted to the Jets. I was so annoyed with that. All right, here's a situation that's peaking one of my favorite players, not so much of a sleeper anymore, but Travion Henderson, man. You were saying, I think the days of getting Travion Henderson round 5 in best ball is over, and I had to get him round 3 in this big money league, in a bunch of big money leagues, because I know he's on the position that I'm in. If I don't get him, he's not coming back. So, for example, I drafted second pick, so I had to get him, coming back on my third, because you know how you go, first overall or second overall, it comes back around, then you have back-to-back picks. If I don't get Henderson at the third pick, 24 picks later, whatever, he's not coming back, at the end of 4, right? He's just not.
Yeah. He was going like about a month ago. He was going between like 508 and 605. Again, like this is why he draft earlier. Now he's going between like 302 and 403. Like, he's not getting past 403. I've done like 10 or so best ball drafts the past 2 or 3 days. He has not made it past 403. So if you want him, you have to. If you're drafting early, you have to take him third round. If you're drafting late, you can maybe try to get him like in the 4th round or late third. I'm all over Travion Henderson. You compared him, I think, favorably, and I agreed to like Jahmyr Gibbs. That's
stronger.
Yeah, you had like Jahmyr Gibbs and Montgomery. Well, he doesn't have a Montgomery. Yeah, there's Ramondre Stevenson there, but he's not as good as Montgomery. He got benched twice last year. So, yeah, early in the year, he's going to get some carries, but late in the year, when it matters most, the fantasy playoffs come around, Henderson's just going to be a monster for you. He's going to be a league winner.
I love him. And I wish I had drafted him in my main money league back when I drafted in May, but every draft, which I've done like 6 other ones now, he's in all of them now. So I'm all in on him. Like, sign me up, take my money. I'm all in. I'm all in. And he's my RB3 to boot. So he's just, the situation looks fabulous. It looks amazing. There's no words to describe Travion Henderson, a work ethic, talent. Loving, like, there's so much hunger with these running backs, and I love the confidence of RJ Harvey. If you look at his preseason game, running for that end zone, getting that swagger, he looks like he's kind of carrying it nicely too, man. So, dude, I'm excited. Broncos offense, as I'm wearing a Raiders hat. Broncos offense, I'm excited. It's so funny because in my storyboard, I'm posting stories like, yeah, go Broncos. Like, dude, you're wearing a Raiders hat. I'm like, yeah, but you don't understand. You don't understand. It's about, I got Bo Nix as my quarterback. I got Pat Bryant stashed later. I got some RJ Harvey stock, and I've got Gentine. I got Dante. It's crazy, dude. And I had Pat Bryant and Dante on my show. So I like both these guys. They're nice guys. And I like, what do I tell each other? Hey, what do I do? I'm a bit of a bandwagon guy. I jump the trains. I jump the bandwagons. That's all.
I'm always asking, what's your favorite team? And I always say the team I'm betting on.
That's it.
Yep, exactly.
That's it. I mean, who would have thought I'd be watching the Patriots like this? I'm not a Patriots fan at all, but I'm watching a Patriots game, right? Like, I'll be watching games that I never thought. That's what makes fantasy so much fun, and football so much more fun now with fantasy. Once you add fantasy, it makes it so much better.
Yeah, best ball. You have DFS. You have betting, which we do on the site. Like, I always root for teams or players. I don't care who wins. Like, if I don't have a gambling stake in it, just like doesn't matter to me.
All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed the show. Breaking Brad, do you have anything to say to our listeners here before we go? I know they got to get to work. Some people, they got to shut the car off and head into the office. Let's try to make them have let's say something positive to them so they can have a good day and they can continue their day. Ready, Breaking Brad? I'll leave the floor to you. You could give them positive messaging.
Embrace the fury. Fear is weakness. Game over.
Game over. They're just starting their day. What are you talking about? He's in one of his angry moods again.
Well, you talked about him being in the contract year. Now he's angry that he might have to leave and join another team.
Well, there's no guarantees. There's just a 1-year tender. There's no major. He wanted that mega contract. He wanted big money guarantees. He didn't get that, so he's a little bit.
You'll get it. I have faith. Brad. You get it.
All right, guys, go grab 16 rounds. Stop, pull over, grab 16 rounds, and go bookmark walterfootball.com for everything football. That's the place to be. Bookmark it, check it daily, always updating, right, Walter? You're always updating.
Yeah, we have everything: fantasy rankings, sleepers, busts, cheat sheets, everything for your fantasy draft, picks against the spread for both NFL, college football. We have power rankings, NFL mock drafts for 2026, 2027 coming soon. Grade every signing, grade every trade. It's all free too. So check out waltzerfootball.com.
All right. Thanks, guys. Thank you for being here. Go enjoy the day. Subscribe, turn on the bell, do all the fun stuff. Grab 16 rounds, join the Patreon, direct coaching, everything. Go do it. All right. We'll talk soon, guys. We're out.